Hello, it is Optimal Nate, and I come back to you with a new action figure from the new Superman movie coming out next month in July. This is the Hawkgirl. I found this at a local Walmart store, and it was the only one I could find amongst the other Superman figures. I believe these are 8-inch, but this is for ages 4 and up, and these are not very posable. These are more for the younger age group. But for such a simple toy action figure, I am really mesmerized by the amount of detail that they put into this figure. We're going to flip this over to the back and take a quick look. It just shows the artwork showing our main star from the movie, Cornset, and it has some literature in the bottom if you choose to read through it. Not a whole lot for art, but there's some graphics going down here with silhouettes of Superman with the symbol, Action Comics off the side here, and then we can come in a little closer. You can see the DC Studios logo, and of course the title Superman for the movie. I am stoked to see this movie when it comes out. I'll probably go with my brother to see it, as we both grew up watching these superhero movies together. So some people have said in videos reviewing Hawkgirl that the mask appears to be smushed against her face. Now from this angle where it's tilted back, I kind of had to angle my camera a little bit, so that's why it looks like that. But I can see from this angle why it looks like her mask is a little bit smushed. But once we get out of the box, we can pose it a little bit more. I believe her wings are tucked in the back here. I'm not sure what she comes with, but we will see that as we go through. Hang tight. So before I get too far into this review, I just wanted you guys to see this insert with our figure before we take it all out. You can see some of the wings there behind the legs. The coloring scheme looks really nice. The tones blended in good. For a cheap toy that's under 10 bucks, like I said, there's some decent detailing going on here with the outfit. It looks pretty good, honestly. I like the utility belt here going on. I'm kind of getting Thundercat vibes a little bit with the Hawkgirl symbol on her belt, but that's just my perspective. Okay, we'll turn it to the side. Proportion seems to be pretty good for the size of the figure. Now I'm going to cut the bands off and then we'll get the wings on. So we took the action figure out of the package from the insert we just went through. I went and cut through all these little bands. This diagram here shows you how to mount the wings onto her back, and this is one of the wings here. Okay, so now that we have her turned around, you can see the back, and these are the inserts where you'll put the wings. We'll carefully put these in. Okay, that one goes in pretty smooth. There's about a 45-degree angle once you get these in. You might have to wrestle a little bit with this side here because her hair lock comes down just a little bit over that, so I'm going to pull that aside just a little bit. All right, so here we're going to turn around and get a better glance. All right, I'm not going to lie, from what I can see here, I don't think the camera does a whole lot of justice for how she really looks here. To see in person would probably be a little bit better. Here, let me turn on my flash. There we go. So, I'm not going to lie, looking at it through my camera here, she looks a lot, her head looks huge, but it's really not. It's just the way the angle of the camera is. I'm going to pull it back just a little bit. There we go. So, at first glance, not a lot going on with the wings. There, the legs a little better. Now you can see some of the more of the details in the wings. I do like the flow of the feathers going on here. If you're an artist and you like to paint, if you want to do some detailing and touch this up, you could. To be honest, for a $9, $9.97 I think this was, or $9.96. Okay, so you pay a little bit over 10 bucks for this toy if you go to Walmart. This is pretty much in scale with the Hot Toys collectibles that Sideshow features. And if you don't want to pay the $200 to $300 for a Hot Toys action figure, if you want to get one of these cheapos, you can get one of these and muster up some paints, do some detailing. You might be able to make it look nice and rich to get some of that Hot Toys quality in there yourself if you're handy. But I really like this figure. Like I said, this was the only one I saw in the store. So I imagine, depending on what kind of cases Walmart gets, they might get one of these per store or maybe two of them, unless a scalper picked them up. I don't know. I do know the McFarlane, their Hawkgirl pre-order went up on May 28th, and the pre-orders were sold out through most vendors online before the end of that day. I actually was going to try to pre-order the McFarlane toy for this myself, and I had no luck. So you'll probably have to wait until like later in the summer to get her. I don't know how much of a part this character has in the new movie, as we still have about a full month ahead of us yet. But I do like the part in the preview where she flies through the cityscape. They didn't really show her much in anything except for that one part where she flew through in the first trailer. But what do you guys think of this character? Like I said, for a cheap toy, it's well detailed. The articulation is pretty simple. You got elbow movement. The hands do turn back and forth. Probably if I had one little complaint or suggestion is they could have added like a club, because I believe in the movie she has a club with spikes or something, but they could have done that to help with the toy. I'm sure there's going to be the people on Etsy that are going to have aftermarket 3D prints of different things, attachments you can put on these. I don't think I'm going to detail this. I think I might just leave it the way it is, because I like, for the simplicity, the paint scheme looks pretty solid, okay? You know, I probably would have touched the wings up a little bit if I'm going to get more into this, to be honest with you. As far as posability, like I mentioned with the arms and the hands, you saw that. You got some knee movement there. The legs move up and down. You can bend the leg back, you knock your wing off. We'll just leave that wing there. You can bring the leg up probably about this far, and then you can put her like that so she's like leaning in, right, make a strike on somebody. So you do have your basic articulation, not too much fancy stuff going on there. And she can come in, give you a big hug, make you feel better. Hi, Superman. I hope you feel better. So, one-wing Hawkgirl here. And it's funny how that wing fell off when the other one was more of a pain in the butt to put on. So we're going to put this back on real quick before we leave. So what do you guys think? Hawkgirl. Come and get one while you can, if they're still available at Walmart. As the time goes on till the movie comes out, they may have more of these. I did see the Superman character. I saw Hawkgirl when I picked her up. And I did see the new Green Lantern for the movie, which is the one that has the mole, the Three Stooges haircut going on. That's the best metaphor I could think of for that. Well, anyways, thank you for tuning in today and watching this review of Hawkgirl. And I appreciate your time to watch these videos. If you'd like to leave a comment, give your own opinion what you think, I greatly appreciate that. If you are not subscribed, please click the bell so you can receive notifications as I do post regular videos. And my saying as it goes, stay humble and true, my dudes. Soar to the skies.